Tonight, a very serious procedure for a former prime minister. Often seen as feisty and strong. Jean Chrétien undergoes a quadruple heart bypass.
We certainly would hope Mr. Chrétien a speedy recovery.
Anything to say, sir?
They were charged with the crash that orphaned a child.
2 young men speeding.
Now, more pain after a judge decides their punishment.
He's still got his freedom.
Go Leafs, go.
Game on.
Yeah!
Why now more than ever, this season could see the Stanley Cup come back to Canada.
Stanley Cup for sure.
And
Somalia changed my life.
a Canadian doctor's musical ambition to help children caught up in war. A CTV success story. And finally for us tonight, from Afghanistan to Iraq, every day we hear tragic stories about innocent people caught in the middle of life and death conflicts. Often children pay the heaviest price. And that's where Samantha Nutt comes in. The Toronto doctor has been to many of the world's trouble spots, working to save young lives. 8 years ago, Dr. Nutt co-founded War Child Canada, enlisting the support of musicians who shared her vision. As CTV's John Venevali-Rao tells us, in tonight's success story, their efforts have meant survival for tens of thousands of children.
You want to take it to the swing?
It's time any parent would treasure with their child a visit to the playground. But Samantha Nutt cherishes these moments all the more for reasons most would never think of.
I can take him to the park and not have to worry about him picking up a grenade or stepping on a landmine.
Having been to so many countries affected by war, Liberia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Iraq, to name just a few, this doctor and now mother has seen firsthand what can happen to kids caught in the crossfire, in conflicts where children can be recruited to do the fighting.
And I have come face to face with kids, some of them as young as 8, who've never been to school, but who have fought and who have killed with Kalashnikov rifles.
As a child herself, Samantha Nutt grew up in Toronto, but also lived in South Africa and Brazil, where she was exposed to those living in poverty. She went on to become a doctor and volunteered to go to Somalia, where a friend was running a UNICEF program.
And once I had seen war and experienced it firsthand, there was absolutely no way that I could go back to practicing medicine in the traditional sense.
Desperate to fight for the millions of children affected by war, Samantha and her husband Eric, also a doctor, wanted to come up with something new, something that would involve Canadian kids.
You know, if you look at who has been at the fore of most major social movements for the better part of the last 50 years, it's been young people.
So they recruited Canadian musicians like David Usher and Chantal Kraviazuk to help get the message out to their many fans, traveling to countries affected by conflict. In Congo, Toronto rock band Sum 41 was caught in the fray. Using the $3 million they now raise annually, War Child Canada runs programs in a dozen countries, directly offering a hand to 10,000 kids a year. In Congo alone, where schools were destroyed, they are currently rebuilding 20.
What keeps me going is that I see the changes that we're able to affect globally.
And to see their success, you only need to look at the faces of children who not that long ago had little to smile about. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Inspirational. That's the kind of day it's been this Wednesday, October 3rd. I'm Lloyd Robertson. For all of us here in the National Newsroom, good night. For some of you, local CTV News comes next.